Hello everyone and welcome to the Taste Show. We're gonna be making some Berenjenas Rellenas. It's gonna be roasted and stuffed eggplant with an amazing ground pork and tomato sauce where we reincorporate that same roasted eggplant that we baked and we make a sauce with it, bake it with a nice gratin of cheese and breadcrumbs, and it's gonna be an amazing, soft, oozing, flavorful eggplant. So let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and slice it directly down the middle. We're gonna score it about 1/2 of an inch deep. And we're gonna go the other way. And this is gonna kind of allow the heat and the flavor to penetrate that we're gonna be throwing in here. And we're gonna do this to all the eggplant. Beautiful. Then we're just gonna get 2 cloves of garlic, cut them right in the center, give them a little crush. We're gonna throw a clove of garlic on top of each, and then some sprigs of thyme. Season with fresh ground pepper and salt. Drizzle some extra virgin olive oil. Don't go skimpy on there. Perfect. Then from here, we're gonna go to a 325-degree oven that's been preheated until we see that it's no longer like a dry sponge and it's kind of cooked through. We're not trying to go super soft because we're still using the eggplant as a vessel to bake our dish. All right, now we're back after we got that eggplant in the oven, baking off, getting all nice and soft. We can start cooking, and by the time it's ready, we'll throw it in there and cook that together as well to keep the flavor train going. And so we're just gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the pan because the pork has plenty of fat. So we're gonna go ahead and just start to brown it. So we're just gonna break it up and spread it thin. While I got that going, I'm gonna go ahead and season it, and then we can start chopping our mise en place. We're gonna use 2 types of peppers here. We're gonna use piquillo style peppers, which are like a fire roasted jarred peppers, and then we're gonna use fresh. So we're gonna bring that pepper flavor forward. An amazing fire roasted pepper that I love is from Cento. And I'm not getting paid to say this, but this stuff is amazing and it'll enhance your flavor of your dishes tremendously. But any fire roasted pepper in your jar will work just fine. So we're just gonna get the outer skins here, lower the temperature so it can cook nice and low. And it's starting to develop some color there, and that's great. This is probably the most flavorful stuffed veggie that I've made thus far. And I think the flavor that it's gonna pack in that eggplant is just gonna be ridiculous, guys. And it'll start to cook together. Pork always brings a lot of flavor to the table when it comes to any dish that we're adding to it. So while that's going, we're gonna go ahead and also chop some shallots. You have red onions, shallots, whatever you want. The sweet flavor will lend itself just perfectly. So we got this red onion here, just a 1/4. Go ahead and turn up the heat, and then we'll go with some shallots. When you think of eggplant, at least in my case, I always think usually Italian food. You think eggplant parmesan, you think frying it up, putting a nice tomato sauce in it, and it's good for a change to kind of have it in a completely different direction, although still using a tomato sauce, flavoring it with different flavor profiles, and it just kind of brings some light to having eggplant in a different way, but in a flavorful way for sure. Super important to break down the meat as much as you can so you kind of have a little bit of sausage throughout the eggplant there. Perfect. And we just go ahead and get all that abundant shallot that's gonna sweeten up that pork, that eggplant. It's gonna flavor it up just nicely. We're gonna crank up the heat because we're about to add the last of our ingredients. So let's do the fire roasted peppers here, about 1/2 cup. And we're just gonna chop these as fine as we can get them. And that one, we just throw it right in. We got a little secret weapon that we're gonna use. Instead of using traditional tomato only, we're gonna throw with a little twist of adding sun-dried tomatoes to kind of give that enhancement of amazing, delicious flavor. So we're gonna fry those up. Okay. And we are just about to throw our eggplant that smells just about ready. Only thing I'm worried about now, the flavor I see is developed. We'll get a little seasoning going on there, right? A little salt and pepper. And that flavor, we want to pick it up, brighten it up. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to throw a little smoked paprika in there. Why not? We already got the fire roasted pepper, got that smoky flavor. Now that smoked paprika is about to take it over to the next level for sure. And of course, let's get some garlic, because that garlic just always adds flavor to any party. So we're just going to slice it super thin. Throwing this one in last just because it tends to burn the fastest. Of course, it is a must in pretty much almost every dish that I know to add that delicious flavor, right? All right, let's go get that eggplant that I think is just about done, and we can go ahead and add it to the pan here. We're not looking for roasted as much as we're looking for cookedness, and that's exactly what we have here. We got some nice browning, that's great. And then when you squeeze on it, it gives. See all that juice? That's all flavor. And then they're holding their shape just fine, so we can restuff them. Let's go ahead and get the cavity from each one, and just be careful not to mess up the integrity of the eggplant there. All right. If you get a little bit stuck on there, not to worry. It's all deliciousness, right? Oh yeah, there we go. So perfect. We're ready to deglaze this guy and lift up all of these amazing flavors, right? Smoke, look at that smoked paprika, the peppers, all roasted in there just perfectly. And then the eggplant, we could just give it a little chop away, right? To make sure there's a little eggplant everywhere. Oh my goodness, it's ready to go, guys. We want the fronds on the bottom of the pan to start to deglaze, and we want to make it vibrant. We want it to sing. So we're gonna throw some sherry vinegar. We'll throw about 2 tablespoons in there, and we'll go ahead and let it pick up all the flavors and just make them more vibrant, right? We're just deglazing here. And then we're gonna go ahead and add these canned chopped tomatoes. I'm using San Marzano because it just adds so much delicious flavor. And look at how it kind of comes together like a sauce there. Now we're just gonna let it cook here for about 15 minutes, get mellow, kind of very light simmer. This thing looks like, and it smells. These eggplants. And the best part is this is just the base of what we're gonna continue to load on. We're gonna go ahead and throw first some mozzarella cheese. So we're gonna sprinkle it right over. We want this to melt nice and even here. And then in between layers, I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs. Get a little bit of that crunch, right? I'm gonna grab some manchego here, and I'm gonna do it just like I would do Parmesan cheese. Manchego cheese has a slight saltiness to it, but I love the nuttiness that it has to bring to the flavor, and its own character is pretty lovely when adding it to any dish. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. A little fresh ground black pepper, because why not? Or as my chef would say, ¿por qué no? In the oven, form a nice gratin on top of the layer of this amazing eggplant relleno. Ooh, this guy smells super good. Let's see what we got so far. Oh man, look at that caramelization on that cheese, guys. What? Got a little chopped parsley. Just sprinkle a little green in there. Parsley is a beautiful thing, right? This stuff smells so good. Cheese just melted in that eggplant and tomato sauce. Look at that, guys. Oh my goodness. Look at that oozy cheese on there. What? This is gonna be some good stuff. And we'll just put this one the opposite way, okay? Let's give this guy a try. I mean, look at how tender, soft. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of really soft, delicate flavors. I feel like this tastes like tomatoes, peppers, confit, with that amazing cheese kind of toastiness. Then you got that meat that has definitely a bite. This thing is an amazing home-cooked meal to just serve with a side of whatever you want. But you already got your veggies, you got your meat, and of course for flavor, you got that tomato sauce, the cheese. It's crazy delicious. And I hope that you've had a lot of fun with me as I've had with you. This is The Taste Show, your chef, Chef Rigo, coming at you until we meet again.